If you're tight on space, but you're looking for a great way to get a low impact cardio workout in at home, you might want to consider getting the NordicTrack SE7i. There's automatic adjustments that are going to take place during the middle of your workout. There's an endless amount of classes available from iFit on the 10-inch touchscreen monitor, and it can be folded in half and be stored vertically. I've been using this elliptical a lot lately, and I'm excited to break it down for y'all. What's up everybody, it's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym with another review ready for y'all today. This time around, I've got the NordicTrack Spacesaver SE7i Elliptical in the gym for review. Now in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about this elliptical, from the price, the features, some pros and cons you may experience while working out with it, and of course, who should or maybe should not purchase one of these. Before I do that though, if you don't already know, we've reviewed a lot of ellipticals on BarBend.com. So if you want to browse our best list, well, all you need to do is search BarBend Best Ellipticals. That article is going to pull right up for you, and you can find out for yourself which ones that we like the best. Okay, so what do I like about the SE7i? Well, to kick this off, I think we have to focus on the iFit workouts. As I mentioned, there's an endless amount right there for you to choose from on that 10-inch touchscreen monitor. This is a really great tool in my opinion because I think we all know that cardio can be a little bit boring sometimes. And I don't think being bored is something you're gonna have to worry about because there's so many different options for you to choose from. But just hang tight, I'll dig into more detail on that in just a second. You also have 22 levels of resistance with this elliptical, and during those trainer-led workouts, that's gonna be automatically adjusted depending on which workout you're doing. You also have manual adjustments as well though, so that way you can adjust the difficulty whenever you seem fit. You have a built-in fan with 4 different speeds to help cool you off, and you have a water bottle holder. That way you can stay hydrated when you're working out, which is obviously really nice. There's Bluetooth capabilities for your headphones. There's also a headphone jack if you like going down the old school route with some wired headphones. There's also Bluetooth capabilities for a heart rate monitor, which is definitely going to come in handy in terms of keeping track of your burned calories and obviously your heart rate variability. There's also popular music loaded onto the monitor as well, and this is really nice in my opinion. So there's like 10 different radio stations for you to choose from. And this is just really cool because a lot of these really high-tech workout products nowadays tend to have, just some random, almost boring instrumental music loaded on there. That's not the case here. You have current up-to-date music, but you also have the classics on there as well, which is really cool. Since this elliptical weighs a pretty hefty 215 pounds, thankfully there is a handle and a set of wheels. It's gonna make it pretty easy for you to move it around your personal space. But the SE7i also folds and it can be stored vertically. That way you're able to make the most of your available space, hence the name Spacesaver. All right, now let's take a second and just talk about a few potential cons you might experience with the SE7i. First of all, just because it can fold in half and it can be stored vertically to make the most of your space, that definitely doesn't mean that it's small, okay? So as it's sitting here unfolded like it is right now, it's 67 inches tall and it's about 80 inches long, which is just over 6.5 feet. So when you do in fact store it vertically, it's gonna be 6.5 feet tall. I don't think that's gonna be much of a problem, but I think when you're using it, when you're working out, I think you need to have at least 7 feet of space from your wall, or else you run into the risk of the movable feet and arms kind of hitting your wall, and you definitely don't want that. This elliptical also has an 18-inch stride length. Now, if you're somebody like myself, you're under 6 feet tall, I don't think you'll have much of a problem with that whatsoever. But if you are over 6 feet tall, you might have some difficulty in terms of really stretching out and getting that normal stride length that you're used to. The flywheel in the rear right here is also an 18-pound flywheel. I haven't noticed anything wrong with that. I feel like it still provides plenty of resistance for your workouts. But some people might want a 20-pound flywheel because obviously it can provide more resistance. I mentioned the water bottle holder and how it comes in handy. As you're working out, you start to sweat a little bit, get thirsty. Yeah, it's nice it's there, but it's relatively small in my opinion. Most reusable water bottles are not gonna fit in that holder, so definitely keep that in mind. There's also not any built-in heart rate sensors either, so definitely keep that in mind. If you're wanting to accurately track your amount of calories you're burning as you're working out, you're definitely gonna have to get yourself a heart rate monitor, or if you have one, just pair it up with the Bluetooth. That way you can get an accurate reading. Let's talk about the money as well. So the base price of this elliptical is listed right around $1,300. And considering all the luxury features it has, I think it's a pretty solid deal, but still 1,300 bucks, that's not necessarily cheap. So, if you don't want to spend that much money on an elliptical, let's say you're not going to use it that often, I suggest saving, hundreds of dollars and finding yourself a much more basic model out there. On top of that, you're also gonna have to pay for an iFit membership just to gain access to the available classes. Now, first-time buyers are gonna get a free month. After that, you're either gonna have to pay about 40 bucks a month or sign up for one of the 3 different yearly subscription plans. I'll dig into that in just a second, but just remember, that's gonna add on to an already expensive product. And other than that, you definitely need to make sure you have a strong Wi-Fi connection. I'm in the garage, I'm not right next to my router, so it affects me more than it's probably gonna affect a lot of you, but there's so many workouts loaded onto that monitor that sometimes it just takes a good amount of time just for everything to load and buffer. Okay, so as promised, I'm gonna expand on the price now for the SE7i. So once again, the base price of the actual elliptical is right around 1,300 bucks. Now your overall price is gonna be directly determined by whether or not you want any additional warranty or maintenance plan, which route you decide to go with your iFit membership, and whether or not you want white glove assembly. Now, if you go for the most expensive options available, you're gonna wind up spending over 2,600 bucks on this product, and that's definitely expensive. So fortunately, you can in fact finance it, and regardless of which route you decide to go for all of those different variables, NordicTrack does a really good job of breaking everything down, and it gives you a couple different options in terms of monthly payments, whether that be over a year or 39 months. So just be sure to check all that out and just ultimately find out which one suits you the best. Now, 1,300 bucks definitely isn't cheap. And if you don't care about all the bells and whistles, all the luxury features that are here, and you just want a simple elliptical to get a quick cardio workout in, you're probably gonna be better off saving hundreds of dollars by going for a more basic elliptical. But remember, this is a luxury product, and considering 1,300 bucks, it's cheaper than some other competitors that offer some of the same features. I think it's a pretty solid deal. All right, so now let's talk about some of the available classes with iFit and that iFit companion app. I don't want to spend too much time on this because A, I don't want to bore you to death, but B, I could spend this whole video simply talking about all the classes through iFit. I'm not kidding when I said there is an endless amount. There's over 16,000 for you to choose from, and that is actually growing as I'm sitting here talking into this camera right this second. So, whether that be, hopping on this elliptical and doing some cardio workout, whether you want to stretch, do some yoga, maybe listen to a TED Talk, bust out some dumbbells, do a strength training class, you name it, iFit has it. And the cool thing is, you can do all this from that companion app. So, those classes that I mentioned that don't involve this elliptical, you can stream all of that from your phone, from your tablet, whatever you're deciding to use. And you can do that on the road as well. So, say you're going on a quick trip, hop in the car, throw some dumbbells in there, wherever you're staying, Airbnb, hotel, you can get a quick workout in, which is really nice. Plus, on top of tracking all of your stats on this monitor, that's all gonna be on the app as well. It's gonna track your past workouts, the challenges you're trying to complete, challenges you have completed, you name it, it's right there. Okay, so clearly this is a pretty high-tech piece of equipment, so I kind of just want to detail some of that technology for you. So once again, you do in fact have a 10-inch touchscreen monitor. It's where you're going to have access to all the iFit classes right there at your fingertips, which is pretty cool. You'll notice on the top of that monitor though, there is a camera. Unfortunately, that doesn't have any purpose right now, but in this day and age we have with virtual training becoming such a popular thing, I wouldn't be surprised if that's rolled out in the not too distant future. You have automatic adjustments that are gonna take place with the 22 levels of resistance. And that motor is honestly relatively quiet, which is definitely a nice thing for those who like to work out late at night or early in the morning. You also have two 2-inch speakers located directly underneath the monitor, and they provide a pretty solid amount of sound as you're listening to your trainer or the music, both, whatever you wanna do. It sounds pretty solid to me. I also love how NordicTrack teamed up with Google Maps for all their cardio equipment. It's a really cool tool in my opinion because you can pick any city in the world, make your own route, and you're gonna be able to kind of visit that city in a certain sense. It's gonna give you that Google camera, street camera. It's on the top of a car whenever they ride around, you see them riding around town. It's really cool in my opinion. It's not a perfectly seamless transition all the time, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. There's also Bluetooth capabilities. This is gonna be really nice for those who like having an accurate measurement of the number of calories they're burning while working out. It's also gonna be nice for those who wanna stream their workout classes with their Bluetooth headphones, but if you don't have any, maybe you don't like using Bluetooth, whatever, you can also go the old school route and just plug in a good old-fashioned pair of wired headphones as well. The monitor operates on Android 9 OS technology, so it's nice and up to date. You won't have too much of a problem in terms of lagging with the interface, loading menus, this and that, as long as you have a pretty solid Wi-Fi connection. And on top of that, you have a built-in fan. I can't forget to mention that. It's gonna help cool you off as you're working out with 4 different speeds. Okay, so let's talk about the build and highlight some of those features one more time for you guys. The framework right here with the SE7i is in fact made of steel. It feels really durable, really sturdy when I'm working out with it. I don't feel as if it's unstable and that it's gonna topple over as I'm working out, which is obviously a really nice thing. It's about 5.5 feet tall, just over 6 feet long, and it's just under 3 feet wide. So definitely keep that in mind whenever you're looking to find the right spot for it to go in your home. It weighs 215 pounds, so thankfully you do have that handle and a set of wheels. It's gonna make it really easy for you to move it around your personal space. It also has a 325-pound weight limit, which is a really high number when it comes to cardio equipment. Longevity also really shouldn't be an issue for you guys, I don't think, because there's a 10-year warranty on the framework, and that's just a really nice safety blanket. Now, when it comes to those features, I've already talked about all of these. I just want to highlight them one more time. You do have that 10-inch touchscreen monitor, and it's gonna allow you to gain access to the available classes. It does tilt a little bit as well. That way you can kind of, accommodate to your comfort level with your neck and the way you're looking at it, I guess. This monitor is also gonna track a lot of metrics, such as your time spent working out, distance traveled, and your speed. It's also gonna give you an estimate on the amount of calories you're burning while working out. But remember, there's no built-in sensors, so if you do in fact want a super accurate reading, all you need to do is hook up your own heart rate monitor. There's automatic adjustments that are gonna take place during the middle of your workout with those 22 levels of resistance, but you can always manually adjust everything as well if you choose to do so. On top of that, you have that built-in fan to help cool you off and a water bottle holder, to stash a basic water bottle. Remember, not every single reusable water bottle is gonna fit in that cup holder. On top of that though, the cherry on top that I think makes this elliptical stand out from the rest is the ability to fold in half and be stored vertically. All right, so I want to walk you guys around this elliptical and kind of demonstrate how everything works. Before I do all that, I want to take you to the back of it first. As you can see, you have your wheels right here. It's really nice in terms of portability, but beside each wheel, you have a little foot right here. That's how it's going to be able to be stored vertically, and that's really nice. It's also going to be right here is a little bit of a foot plate, I guess you could call it, with this flywheel right here. It's going to be resting on that, so that's how everything really happens. This is your 18-pound flywheel. I haven't noticed anything negatively in terms of the resistance, but some people like targeting a 20-pound flywheel because it can offer a little bit more resistance. Overall, this is a pretty quiet flywheel, which is obviously a really good thing. Now let's move a little further up. These are your oversized foot pedals. They're about 13 inches or so. I don't have my ruler or tape measure with me right now, but I think it's about 13 inches off the top of my head. Now, cool thing is these can be adjusted. There's 3 different heights they can be positioned at. So you can technically make this a little bit more of a quad driven workout if you want to. And that's really easy to do. You just pull out this plastic tab and raise up or push it down, whichever way you're wanting it to go. That's really easy to do. I'll explain how to fold it and kind of show you in a second, but just while we're sitting right here, this knob right here, you're gonna twist on it until it can be pulled out. And there's a tab right here you'll lift up on, and that's how you're able to fold it. All right, now, it's your water bottle holder. As you can see, it's pretty small. Not every single reusable water bottle is gonna fit in there. So definitely keep that in mind. You might be better off with a good old classic, plastic, non-reusable water bottle. All right, now let's get into the good stuff. This is your touchscreen monitor. It's 10 inches. It can be rotated a little bit, as you can see, or tilted, should I say. That way, you can just kind of, for your comfort level, you can find the right fit for you. We're on the home page right here. Right when you pull it up, it's gonna show you your past 7 days, your workout stats, distance, total time, estimated calories burned, and that's really cool. You can click on this right here. It's gonna show you daily, obviously weekly, monthly, and yearly. Now, we can scroll through right here, and there's a bunch of workouts that are available right off the bat. You know, I'm in the middle of this 20-part series. I haven't gotten too far, I guess you could say, but you know, whenever you complete one and you're doing that, it's gonna pop up right here. That way you can jump right into the next one and kind of, you know, keep tabs of everything. Click on calendar down here. It's gonna pull up all of your most recent workouts, show you how long you're doing them, estimated calories burned, how far you went, everything like that. Click on create. This is really cool to me. All right, so we're in Mexico. Now watch this. I'm gonna exit out of here, go back to create. Now it has us in Cambodia. I'm gonna do it again just to show you. This is gonna pop up a new city every single time, which is just mind blowing to me. We're back in Mexico, but you get the gist. It's gonna do the same thing over and over. Now, you go to browse. This is the full library. You're able to find every single workout that, you know, directly corresponds with this elliptical, and that's really cool. You can find, you know, search by trainer. There's different challenges right here. These are being added all the time, which is just really cool to me. So that way, you know, you're not going to reach a point to where you've done every single available challenge. If you do, let me know. I'm actually going to be really interested in finding that out if somebody's able to do that. There's also different categories, you know, less than 20 minutes, beach, city, desert, and you kind of name it right here. You can kind of scroll a little bit. Trending series as well, short workouts, you know, if you're new to iFit. Guys, there's a lot going on right here. There's also an on-air tab. It's going to show you right down here. It's going to take a second to load, but it's going to show you all the upcoming live, well, if my finger would work right there, there we go. It's going to show you all the upcoming live classes that are going to be available, and that's just really sweet in my opinion. It's going to take a while to load, so just know that that's there. Just remember that. Now, if we go back to the home page, on this left side, pull down that menu. You can edit your account. You can edit other accounts. So you can have up to 4 additional accounts on your membership. So 5 total, which is really cool. You can basically split everything 5 different ways, you know, which is a really nice thing. Now, you have your manual adjustments right here for your resistance. As you can see, there's 22 different levels right here. And, you know, that's really nice. You know, if you don't want to sit here and have the machine do everything for you, you can just kind of click, and this is all going to be directly corresponded to whatever, you know, level you're wanting to go to. Your fan's located right here, and you can tilt this, which I think is actually pretty nice. Comes in handy at certain times. You know, that way you can, you know, adjust it to, you know, hit you in the face, hit your torso, you know, whatever. Fill in the blank, it's there. And you have your adjustments right here for the volume and the fan. Now, let's say you don't want to pay for iFit. Well, you don't really have to, and I think you should, because I think it's definitely how this is meant to be used, but you do have a manual start option right here, and I'm just going to hop on this now. And as you see, it's going to kick in. It's going to give you a warm-up, and it's going to track all your metrics up here at the top, and that's going to be during all of your trainer-led workouts as well. So it's going to show your speed, estimated calories burned. Obviously, it's going to be accurate if you do, in fact, have a heart rate monitor that you want to hook up. It's also going to show your time elapsed, resistance. There's a lot of different metrics that are right here. So it's going to give you a warm up. We're just going to end it for right now. I'm good to go. It's going to give you a little 1/4 mile track, and then you're basically good to go. So this is an 18-inch stride length. Once again, you know, I don't have any problems with it. I feel pretty natural when I'm moving. You have these movable arms, make it feel like you're actually running. But, you know, like I said, if you're over 6 feet tall, that stride length may not be ideal for you because you're not going to really be able to open up your hips fully. Now, other than that, everything is smooth sailing. You know, I'm going to go ahead and adjust my resistance. I'm at the hardest one right now. And you can't really even hear anything. This is a really quiet machine. So that way, you know, if you're working out late at night, early in the morning, you have roommates, family members, you live in an apartment complex, you're not going to wake up everybody. And you can't forget about that Bluetooth. Pair up your headphones, and it's a quiet experience. Now, let's go ahead, and one more thing I forgot to mention before I show you guys how to fold this is you do have your auxiliary in right here if you don't want to use Bluetooth headphones, and you also have your two 2-inch speakers right here, which provide a pretty solid sound. All right, now let's do this. All right, so what you do is untwist this knob right here. All right, good to go. And then once again, you have this tab back here. You're going to lift up on it. Sometimes it makes a loud noise with these 2 plastic pieces. But, and other than that, you just kind of be gentle with it, you know, it's not a toy. And that's it. That's all you gotta do with it. And I have mine plugged in right now, so I'm not gonna move it around right this second, but you have your handle up here, so you just lift right here, and then you can store it vertically, once again, once you don't have it plugged in, which is really nice. As you can see, like, it really cuts down on that footprint, especially when it is stored vertically, and we all like that. Hence the name Spacesaver. Okay, so now it's time to answer two of the hardest questions I'm gonna be asked about this elliptical. The first one being, who should buy it? Well, if you're tight on space, or maybe you just want a piece of cardio equipment that's gonna allow you to make the most of your available space, I think this is really one of the better options that are out there. Once again, it can be folded in half and be stored vertically, so that way you can tuck it in the corner of your room, and it's just kind of out of the way of everything, and you can do any other type of workouts that you may want to do. We got to talk about iFit too. Once again, there's tens of thousands of classes available at your fingertips on this touchscreen monitor, but they're also going to be available on that companion app as well. So, whether you want to do some yoga, some stretching, some meditation, some strength training, listen to some TED Talks, the list goes on and on and on, that membership's going to wind up being worth it for a lot of y'all watching. And then lastly, since this is such a high-tech luxury product, it has a price tag of right around $1,300. If you're looking for the best bang for your buck piece of cardio equipment, I think you found your match. And the second question here is, who shouldn't purchase this elliptical? Well, let's talk about the money. Yes, I just got done saying it's one of the best bang for your buck purchases in terms of cardio equipment. I still think that's true, but not everybody wants to spend $1,300 on one piece of equipment. So if you don't want to do that, well, you don't have to. Nobody's going to twist your arm and make you do it. So if you want to save some money, you can definitely find a more basic, cheaper option out there. We also got to talk about space. Yes, this is labeled as a space saver. It's designed to make the most of your available space, but it still could dominate too much of your room. And two more things here. If you're over 6 feet tall, you might have some difficulty in terms of really opening up your stride, because the stride length here is only 18 inches. And some people may not be too crazy about the 18-pound flywheel because it simply may not provide enough resistance. Well, that's all I have for you guys today on the NordicTrack Spacesaver SE7i Elliptical. I think this is a great product overall, but especially for those who are tight on space and want to make the most of what they have available. Can't forget about those automatic adjustments to your resistance, or the ability for it to be folded and stored vertically. You tie in all of those awesome features for a price tag that's right around $1,300, I think you've got a really great deal. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. I hope this video was really helpful and that I was able to break down everything you need to know about this product. As always, stay posted for my next video. But for now, if you want to read more on this elliptical, all you got to do is search BarBend NordicTrack Spacesaver SE7i Elliptical Review. Our detailed article is going to pull right up for you, and you can go over everything that we talked about here today. I'll catch y'all next time.